Mangwanani Mwalelepo Vukenjani Klekwas Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Mberi. These are some of the stories that we are looking at. South Africa is facing a shortage of 250,000 places for grade R's, with as many as 33 pupils per teacher. Around 40 killed in attack on Chad military base, presidency says. And Kenya's impeached Deputy President Gachagua seeks court injunction on High Court proceedings. Do follow all our programs on oneup2.com or DSTV 285 and GoTV 25 in Namibia, as well as Network Media Hub on YouTube. Mike Sichula from Zambia and Rorisang Mogojwe from Botswana will be joining us to fill us in on the news stories happening in their respective countries. This is Africa Good Morning. Top stories shortly.
Irongo Med is a leading distributor, working in partnership with NewMed and WestMed to meet the comprehensive needs of the Namibian healthcare sector. As a partner pursuing sustainable global healthcare, we offer industry-leading medical solutions through our key focus areas, which include pharmaceuticals, orthopedics, ophthalmology, surgical devices and capital equipment, as well as a well-established scientific laboratory division. In healthcare, Irongo Med is committed to making a difference. What about you?
We start off in South Africa, where Basic Education Minister Siviwe Gwarube has revealed that South Africa needs approximately 250,000 additional grade R places to accommodate all eligible children in grade R school programs. Gwarube also revealed that some provinces are currently managing classrooms of more than 30 students per teacher. The simplest way to estimate the additional capacity needed in terms of grade R places at schools would be to say that the size of a typical cohort of grade 1 learners, where there is essentially universal participation, is about 1,050,000 enrollments. The typical size of a grade R cohort in the last few years is about 800,000 enrollments, Gwarube said in response to a parliamentary question from Action SA's Lerato Mikateko Ngobeni. Now, the strain on the system is particularly evident in provinces like Mpumalanga, where teachers manage classes of 33 students, and Limpopo with 32 students per teacher. The Eastern Cape and Northwest have 30 students per teacher, while the Western Cape and KwaZulu-Natal respectively have 27 and 26 pupils per teacher. Northern Cape has a pupil-to-teacher ratio of 25:1, and Gauteng has a similar ratio of 26 pupils to 1 teacher. This is in contrast to the Free State, which maintains a more manageable ratio of 23 students per teacher, while the national average sits at 28 students per teacher. Now, around 40 soldiers were killed in an attack on a military base in Chad's Lake region on Sunday, the Central African country's presidency said on Monday. Now, President Mahamat Idris Deby launched an operation to track down the assailants. The statement said it did not name the group responsible for the attack. The Lake Chad region has been repeatedly attacked by insurgencies, including by Islamic State in West Africa and Boko Haram, which erupted in northeast Nigeria in 2009 and spread to the west of Chad. Chad is an important ally for French and U.S. forces aiming to fight jihadists in the Sahel, which has become the epicenter of global terrorism under attack by factions loyal to Al-Qaeda and Islamic State. Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have ended military operations with the U.S. and France in recent years and turned to Russia for support instead. And Kenya's impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua filed a petition with the Court of Appeal on Monday, October the 28th, aiming to halt ongoing impeachment proceedings in the High Court. Gachagua argues that the High Court's recent rulings were flawed and has raised objections over the legitimacy of the three-judge bench presiding over his case. Gachagua's legal team, led by lawyer John Jomo, contends that Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu overstepped her authority by appointing the three judges, Justices Eric Ogola, Anthony Mrima, and Frida Mugambi, without the approval of the Chief Justice Martha Koome. According to Njomo, only the Chief Justice has the constitutional authority to assign judges as outlined in Articles 25, 27, 47, 48, 51, and 260 of Kenya's Constitution. Gachagua's petition claims the bench appointment violated Article 165.4 of the Constitution and was an error in interpreting the law. However, last week, the three-judge panel upheld the legitimacy of Mwilu's actions, with Justice Mrima stating that the Deputy Chief Justice could temporarily exercise the Chief Justice's administrative duties when necessary. The Chief Justice's role in assigning judges as an administrative function may be carried out by the Deputy Chief Justice if the CJ is unable to fulfill it, Justice Mrima noted. Gachagua is now urging the Court of Appeal to issue an injunction to stop the High Court proceedings until his appeal is reviewed. Those have been our top stories on Africa. Good morning. After the break, we talk to Sichula in Zambia and Rorisang Mogojwe in Botswana.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
All right, it's time to talk to Mike Sichula as he delivers the news stories from Zambia. Mike Uribwanji.
Bueno, Muribwanji, Africa, good morning to our dear viewers.
Diribwa. Now, the 10th memorial service for late President Michael Sata was unfortunately marred with division as two groups held separate events. Tell us more.
Quite interesting, yes, indeed. So what basically happened is that President Michael Sata passed away on October 28, 2024, and he was Zambia's fifth.
All right, so unfortunately we've lost our Mike there. We do have some connectivity issues, particularly in Zambia, but we can get into his stories. I just received them now, and I'm sure we'll be able to continue, and hopefully if Mike comes back, we'll swing back to him now. Zambia's fifth president passed away on October 28, 2014, and was president from 2011 to 2014. The government-organized event was held at the Anglican Cathedral of the Holy Cross, where President Hakainde Hichilema was in attendance, this together with the wife to the late president, Dr. Christine Kaseba, and other family members. In Mike's second story, Zambia has been elected as vice chair of the Commonwealth Ministerial Action Group. Now, the role, which focuses on upholding Commonwealth values, was secured during the recent Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting held in Samoa. Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Minister Mulambo Haimbe will now lead efforts to monitor and respond to breaches of democratic principles within the Commonwealth. Zambia, this is quite a fascinating one, was attending to beat Colombia's record of having more than 4,337 bottles of alcohol being opened simultaneously. Now, despite a good turnout, the recent Guinness World Record attempt event hosted by Mosi Laga Zambia Breweries was marred by poor organization, leaving patrons frustrated and disappointed. Now, the scorching heat proved unbearable for attendees, followed by the lack of cold drinks available from vendors. The Master of Ceremonies failed to effectively guide the audience, allowing the disorder to escalate. The poor organization of the event was a letdown for many Zambians who had turned up in high spirits, eager to participate in the record attempt. This is quite a shame considering how much I enjoyed Mosi Laga in Zambia. Hopefully the next attempt will be, better organized. Now, in the last of my stories, Lusaka's Matero Magic Basketball Club has qualified for the Africa Elite Round of 16. Now, this is the basketball version of the CAF Champions League. Magic became the first Zambian club to beat a Mozambican club in a competitive game in over 25 years. The club also won all their 4 qualifier matches, becoming only the second African club to do so. Now, the basketball club boasts of South Sudanese international Ruai Luaka, Elijah Mukelebi, veteran Harrison Kafunga, American Donovan Jones, and club captain Chongo Chona. And one update from Zambia: in the Ballon d'Or ceremony last night, the highest ranked African woman at Ballon d'Or is now officially Barbara Banda, as she was ranked 12th in the world of women's football. Stay with Africa Good Morning as we swing over to Botswana and have a chat with Rorisang Mogojwe. Dumelang Rorisang, how are you?
Dumela Ashwin, and Dumela to all the viewers listening in this morning.
All right, let's get straight into it. Opposition Botswana Congress Party has taken Botswana's Independent Electoral Commission to court. Tell us more about this.
Yes, so tomorrow is D-Day in Botswana, but we are heading to the elections. We're going to vote in a new government or maintain the current one. So in the build-up to elections day, there has been several dramatic events that have occurred in the country, and top of those are when people are questioning the readiness of the Independent Electoral Commission to actually hold these elections. It has been marred by several concerns, including the alleged foreign interference of Zimbabwean nationals. We've seen at the advanced polling where public servants or people who are supposed to be working during the elections, they did not vote. And we've also seen irregularities within the voters' roll. Now, the Botswana Congress Party, which is one of the main opposition parties in Botswana, has taken the Independent Electoral Commission to court, citing concerns over irregularities over the voters' roll. They are saying that they did inspect the voters' roll and they found that there were several names that were entered twice and some with duplicated identification numbers. There were also some who were deceased on the voters' roll. So that's what they took the Independent Electoral Commission to court for. They are saying that the IEC is really not ready, or they believe that the IEC is really not ready to conduct fair and transparent elections, and the BCP continues to call on election observers to take care of the situation and monitor the situation closely, because they do believe that the ruling party wants to steal elections and they want to steal elections through the Independent Electoral Commission. But all in all, they are saying we're going to continue to take the IEC to court until this matter is resolved. And one other thing is that the IEC refuses to unveil a digital copy of the voters' roll, which is what is getting a lot of Botswana and a lot of opposition parties really riled up, because they are asking what is the IEC hiding. But the IEC is saying, no, we cannot unveil the digital roll because the law does not allow us to do so. However, you are welcome to inspect the manual or the hard copy of this roll, and therefore that is one of the main reasons why the IEC is being taken to court by the Botswana Congress Party.
Oh my goodness, it's getting more and more dramatic. Let's see how everything unfolds. Now, 3 Zimbabwean and 2 Botswana nationals have been sentenced to 2 years in prison each. Tell us why.
Yes, the 5, which is the 2 Botswana as well as the 3 Zimbabwean nationals, were arrested and were charged with human trafficking. What happened was that the group was arrested in the northeastern part of the country while transporting about 10 undocumented Ethiopian immigrants sometime earlier this month, around the 5th of October. So the 5 were convicted for their involvement in human trafficking. The group was apprehended while traveling through the area. 2 of the Botswana nationals who were arrested claimed that they had been paid by 1 Zimbabwean national, and upon being apprehended, they took the police to the 1 Zimbabwean national, who then revealed who his accomplices were, and all 5 of them were then arrested. They pleaded guilty in court, but they did plead for leniency. One of the locals, the Botswana national, said that he had not been paid, and he was insisting that he receive leniency because he still had not been paid his share of the money. And the Zimbabwean nationals did admit to having been paid to transporting the Ethiopian immigrants. And the whole intention was that they could cross into South Africa. And that's one of the main concerns, that Botswana is being used as a hub to transport undocumented nationals, to transport contraband and illegal drugs and substances into South Africa. It's a hub. So that's one of the concerns of the police. So these 5 were then arrested, all pled guilty, and were given 2 years each in prison.
Yes, well, good thing they got a handle on that. Now, 3 Botswana entertainers have been nominated for the African Entertainment Awards, including everyone's favorite, William Last, KRM.
Yes. And let me just start off by saying that William Last here, is from Botswana, not South Africa, because a lot of South Africans claim him. He is from Botswana, and he's really putting Botswana on the international arena, on an international stage, and our entertainment scene is set to shine internationally as he is nominated for 3 awards. He is a comedian turned rapper. He's got 3 nominations, and this is his 2nd appearance at the awards. He intends to defend his title of Digital Content Creator of the Year, which is a category that he won last year. And he's going head to head with South African influencer Kanye Mbao. He also has a nomination for Best Comedian, and he also has recently explored Botswana's attractions with 7 other content creators, which makes him a top contender for this nomination. Really, we've also got another one. We've also got another social media influencer. He has been recognized for his content in keeping people entertained. However, the spotlight is on William KRM, and we are hoping that he will bring home those 3 awards, and we are really hoping that Botswana will be put out there on the international stage because of him, because he's going against several big wigs in the entertainment industry. So good luck to William Last.
Well, we certainly wish them all the best. Thank you, Rorisang, for bringing us the news stories from Botswana.
Thank you very much for having me, Africa. Good morning.
So it's good having you on Africa. Good morning. Let's have a look at the weather predictions before we head into economic news. In economic news, South African grocery retailer Pick n Pay will exit Nigeria by selling its 51% stake in a joint venture as part of its strategy to restructure outside its home market, CEO Sean Summers announced yesterday. Pick n Pay, which entered the Nigeria market less than 5 years ago through a partnership with AG Leventis, currently operates 2 stores in the country. Let's have a look at the economic indicators before Ari Hochad brings us the sport.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news and starting off with Formula One racing news. Exciting season in 2024. There's only 5 races left in the season, very competitive in the constructors division of the championship. At the moment it is McLaren that leads on 566 points. It is Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri doing well for McLaren. In second position at the moment it is Ferrari, 537 points, 29 points behind, so it's not many points in it with 5 races to go. And then it is Red Bull, 512 in third position. Red Bull battling this year. They won the Constructors' Championship the previous year. It is mainly because Sergio Perez is really battling for Red Bull. Also Max Verstappen battling at the moment. It was in the Mexico Grand Prix, Max Verstappen in 6th position, Sergio Perez in 17th position. But on the points table it's still Max Verstappen leading on 362 points, but Sergio Perez down in 8th position. Just 150 points so far for him. That makes a difference at the moment. In the single, in the individual category, it is Max Verstappen still leading. He's got 362, just 47 points ahead of Lando Norris on 315. So it is also very close and competitive with 5 races to go. The next one will be this coming weekend. It will be on the 3rd of November. It will be the Interlaken Grand Prix, or it will be the Brazilian Grand Prix rather. That will be at Interlaken in Sao Paulo. On to tennis news, and it was a good performance by Jack Draper of Australia. He's the biggest title of his career that he won. He won the Erste Bank Open, that was the Vienna Open they call it also. He beat Russian Karen Khachanov in the final, 6-4, 7-5, and the biggest win for Jack Draper, the first time that he won a tournament, the ATP 500 tournament. Earlier in the year he won the ATP 250 tournament, and that was in Stuttgart. Good performance by him. Now he's in the top 20 on the world rankings. In fact, he will be number 15 in the world when the new world rankings come out this week. And to close off today's international sports news, it is rugby news. The South African Springbok rugby team preparing for the European tour, and it is 3 games that they will play in Britain. It will be the 10th of November against Scotland, the 16th of November against England, and then the 23rd of November against Wales. Some injury concerns still of Frans Malherbe, the tight end prop. He injured his ankle against the Glasgow Warriors for the Stormers the past weekend, but he's going to go on tour, and the first assessment is that in a week or 2 he might be ready to play in the internationals. Earlier also Damian Willemse, the Stormers fullback, he injured his groin against the Glasgow Warriors. He's out of the tournament, being replaced by Cameron Hanekom. He's the 8th man. He is from the Bulls. That's the international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thank you for staying with Africa. Good morning. Let's have a look at some of the highlights from the broadcast. Shortage of 250,000 places for grade R's with as much as 33 pupils per teacher in South Africa. Around 40 killed in attack on Chad military base, according to the presidency. And South Africa's Pick and Pay exits Nigeria after 4 years. DSTV 285, GoTV 25, oneup2.com, and Network Media Hub is precisely where you can find us. From me, Ashwin Bedi, and the Africa Good Morning team, Swera Jaganaka.